We're going to start on page 640. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון. להגיד בבוקר חסדך, ואמונתך בלילות, עלי עשור ועלי נבל, עלי היגיון וחינוך. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון. להגיד בבוקר חסדך, ואמונתך בלילות, עלי עשור ועלי נבל, עלי היגיון וחינוך. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון.
Shabbat Shalom. Good Shabbos to all of you at the end of a beautiful week. You know, Gordon and I have, along with Mara, have been working on getting ready for the High Holy Days, which begin in just about a week and a half with Rosh Hashanah. And my job, in part, is to give sermons and teachings. And the challenge many rabbis have is to figure out what to talk about every year. But this year, and in recent days, there have been so many stories in the news. It seems like every day there's something new to talk about, and most of the time it's usually something bad. So that's kind of what's been occupying my thoughts over these last few weeks, just all the bad things going on in the world. But as we all know, and as has happened throughout history, along with the bad, there is also lots of good. There are lots of things to celebrate. There are lots of happy occasions. And tonight we're celebrating one of them, and that is the birthday of Bonnie and Scott, who both had birthdays this month. There is a beautiful oneg waiting for us after services that they have sponsored, so thank you very much. And I know we have Max's bar mitzvah coming up in December, so we're excited about that. Does anyone else have anything positive, celebratory they want to share? Ellen, I know you should just speak up, but you said you had something really good happen in your family?
Yeah, my daughter just got a huge promotion, and she's moving back to Chicago, and she's very happy about that.
And mazel tov on that, and I'm biased, but Chicago's a great city, so I'm glad she's moving back there. And Mark?
My granddaughter left yesterday for UC Davis as an incoming freshman.
Okay, well, congratulations on that. Any other good news? Yes, Rona?
My daughter-in-law got the job in Davis. She's
Okay, good news. Anybody else? Yes, Kathleen?
I'm getting better.
Good. We've missed you these last few weeks. I'm really happy you're here.
I wanted to tell you all too, I went to a fabulous retreat in Camp Newman last week. And I would encourage you to look for it next year. It was fabulous. It was awesome. Food and wine. It's a great place to be for a couple of days.
Good. Well, we're glad you're with us. And I was at a service in Chicago once a few years ago before we moved out here. And the service leader, they didn't have a rabbi, but the service leader said, you know, on Shabbat and in community, we mark not only our oys, but our joys. So I'm happy to begin our service with some of the more joyful occasions. So connected to that, Bonnie, I'd like to invite you up to the bima along with Wendy to light our Shabbat candles. And everyone can follow along on page 120 for the blessing.
We'll do that with our Baruch Atah Adonai, right?
Right.
We want to make it We did not plan this, the tops. So, we say first and then light?
No, you light.
Okay, I'm going to do this and then I'm going to hand it to you.
Okay. What are you going to hand? No, I don't want to touch it.
You don't want to do that?
No, I don't want to do
Oh. This is the best part.
that. Yeah, we'll do it together now.
Okay.
There you go.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu l'hadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu l'hadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Thank you both. And as Bonnie and Wendy return to their seats, please turn to page 142 for the singing of Shalom Aleichem, a prayer about peace.
Let's do it. We'll do it here. Shalom Aleichem, Malachi Hasharit, Malachi Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachi Hamlachim, Hakadosh Baruch Hu. Borechem Shalom, Malachi Hashalom, Malachi Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachi Hamlachim, Hakadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu Ni L'Shalom, Malachi Hashalom, Malachi Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachi Hamlachim, Hakadosh Baruch Hu. Tzechem L'Shalom, Malachi Hashalom, Malachi Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachi Hamlachim, Hakadosh Baruch Hu.
Page 144, we turn to the Chatzi Kaddish.
Yitkadav, Yitkadash, Shemei Rabbah, B'alma Divrach, Yeruteh v'yamlich malchuteh, B'chayechon uv'yomechon, uv'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael, Ba'gala, Ba'gala, uv'izman kahariv, V'emeru, Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah Mevarach, Le'olam u'lal me'al maya, Yitbarach, Yitbarak v'yishtabak v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yithale v'yithalal Shemei Kudesha berichu Leila min kol birchata v'shirata Tushbichata v'nechemata da'amiron biyama v'imeru. Amen.
The Baruch Hu is on page 146. If you're able, please rise.
Lai la la lai la lai la lai lai. Lai la la lai la lai la lai lai. Lai la la lai 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 lai. Lai la la lai 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 la lai lai. Lai la lai 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 lai. Lai la la lai 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 lai. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam va'ed HaMevorach Le'olam va'ed.
Please join me at the bottom of page 149, and let's read this passage together in English. This is an hour of change. Within it we stand uncertain on the border of light. Shall we draw back or cross over? Where shall our hearts turn? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? This is the hour of change, and within it we stand quietly on the border of light. What lies before us? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? Baruch atah Adonai, Hama'ariv Aravim. And together at the bottom of page 151, wisdom and wonder, passion and instruction, story and symbol, all these things your Torah gives to us. And the more we devote ourselves to it, the more it grows and gives. What could be a truer token of your abiding love than this holiest of your works and the living language that gives it form? Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kavod Malchuto Le'olam va'ed. Baruch Shem Kavod Malchuto Le'olam va'ed. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha uv'chol nafshecha uv'chol me'odecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavacha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam B'shivtecha b'veitecha, uv'lechtecha v'derech, uv'shokbecha uv'kumecha, u'kshartam le'ot al yadecha, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
Page 157. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands and marching together. Micha Mochaz on page 158.
Yum bum bum bim bim bye yabba bye ba bim bum. Yum bum bum bim bim bye yabba bye ba bim bum. I la 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 yabba bye ba bim bum. Ya la 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 yabba bye ba bim bum. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha nedar b'kodesh. No ratahilo o sefele, no ratahilo o sefele. Malachutacha ra'uvanecha, bokei hayam lifnei Moshe u'Miriam. Ze'eli anu ve'amru, Adonai imlo le'olam va'ed. Yam bam bam bim bim bye yabba bye ba bim bam. Yam bam bam bim bim bye yabba bye ba bim bam. Ya la 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 yabba bye ba bim bam. Ya la 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 yabba bye ba bim bam.
Page 161. So we started with Shalom Aleichem, a song about peace, where we actually invoke the Shabbat angels to bring peace to us at the beginning of service. Now, when we're sort of in the middle of the service, we have another prayer about peace where we ask God to cover us with the sukkah, with Sukkat Shalom, the canopy, the shelter of peace. So let's read the translation together on page 161, and then Gordon's going to lead us in song. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Adonai, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up waiting to do your will. Baruch atah Adonai, haporei Sukkat Shalom, aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael, ve'al Yerushalayim.
Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storm. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storm. Ashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, l'shalom. V'hamidenu shomreinu l'chayim. Ufros aleinu Sukkat shlomecha, ufros aleinu Sukkat shlomecha. Ashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, l'shalom. תעמידני שומרנו לחיים. ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך, ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך. Shelter us beneath your wings, O Adonai. Guard us from all harmful things, O Adonai. Keep us safe throughout the night, till we wake with morning's light. Teach us, God, wrong from right. Amen. 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 Amen.
The Amidah is on page 164. Again, if you're able, please rise.
Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi agita hilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak v'Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel v'Elohei Leah Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanora El Elyon Gomel Chasadim Tovim V'konei hakol, v'zocher chastei avot v'imahot, u'mevi geula livnei v'neihem, leman shemo be'ahava, melech ozer u'moshia u'magen, baruch atah Adonai, magen Avraham v'ezrat Sarah, atah gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechaye hakol ata rav lehoshia, morid hatal, mechalkel chayim bechesed, mechaye hakol berachamim rabim, somech noflim v'rofei cholim, umatir asurim, umikayem emunato, Lishenei afar, michamocha bagavurot, umidom melach, melech memid, umechaye, umatmiach Yeshua, v'ne'eman atah lahachayot hakol, baruch atah Adonai, mechaye hakol. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, u'kdoshim b'chol yom yahalalucha selah. Baruch atah Adonai, ha'el hakadosh. page 180. May the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be acceptable to you, Adonai, my rock and my redeemer.
At this point in our service, we pause to think of those in need of healing on this Shabbat, healing of body, healing of spirit, and healing of heart. And we ask God to bestow the bracha, the blessing of refuah shlema, full and complete healing on the following men and women from our congregation or those known and loved by our community. Ilana Massey, Kevin Brackett, Michelle Camissia, Sharon Blevis, Kirk Whitlatch, Kathy Rotto, Aaron Ledden, Rachel Sadek, Michaela Cohen, Diane Rotto Persile, Tracy Adams, Joan Wilmert, Kim Stevens, James Lynch, Don Copeland, Rachel Hartstein, Nancy Pollock, Pat Shapiro, Denise Robinson, Michael Blend, Rachel Friedman, Sherry Kohos, Ralph Garber, and Mike Ballenhoff. And if anyone has a name they'd like to add, I invite you to please do so.
Pat Coley and Renee Foley. My sister, Linda Isaacson. Diane Gallagher. Jill Wilson, Michelle Manning.
The Misha Berach is on page 511.
May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
Shabbat Shalom, good Shabbos again to everyone. So as we get closer to the High Holy Days, we also near the end of the reading of the Torah. And the Torah portion for this Shabbat is called Ki Tavo. It's toward the end of the book of Deuteronomy, chapters 26 through 29. And at this point, near the very end of this last book of the Torah, the Israelites stand at the very threshold of the Promised Land. They're basically at the threshold of the Promised Land for the whole book of Deuteronomy. And Moses, along with the elders of the community, instructs their people to create a special dedication ceremony when they have crossed over the Jordan River. Part of that ceremony involves the public proclamation of blessings and curses, the consequences that will befall the 12 tribes depending on their fidelity to the laws and rules of the covenant. And these pronouncements will occur on Mount Gerizim and Mount Erbal, two mountains in the northern part of what is now the West Bank. One of our members, Effie Lubliner, he and Shira are relatively new members. Some of you know them. He's Israeli. When he was in the IDF, he was actually stationed near these two mountains. So they're still around. And as the people gather on and around the mountains, some of the curses that they hear are gruesome. If the Israelites disobey the covenant, and I'm going to read 3 of them, the first one says, and I'm quoting from the text, "The Lord will strike you with consumption, fever, and inflammation, with scorching heat and drought, with blight and mildew. They shall hound you until you perish." And there's another one. "Your carcasses shall become food for all the birds of the sky and all the beasts of the earth, and none to frighten them off. The Lord will strike you with Egyptian inflammation." I guess it's a different type of inflammation. "With hemorrhoids, boil scars, and itch, from which you shall never recover." And finally, there's one more. "If you don't obey the covenant, the Lord will strike you with madness, blindness, and dismay. You shall grope at noon as the blind grope in the dark. You shall not prosper in your ventures, but shall be constantly abused and robbed, with none to give you help." These are pretty harsh punishments, to say the least. Now, to many of us, these curses in Ki Tavo, in this ancient Torah portion, seem disturbing, hideous, and primitive, a reflection of an ancient mindset that directly linked our actions with divine reward and punishment. Now, most of us today do not believe in a God, I know I don't, who rewards us for meritorious behavior or who punishes us for our misdeeds. We know, most of us, all too well, that life is much more complicated than that. Especially as we get older, we know this, that bad things do sometimes happen to good people, and that the wicked do sometimes prosper. Similarly, many Jews in our time have doubts about the idea of petitionary prayer, the notion that if we are deserving, God will answer our prayers and fulfill our personal requests. Well, there are some people who do pray for health, wealth, love, good grades, or even hitting a home run. It is dubious as to how many really believe they will receive a direct, positive response to their petitions. It is hard for me to fathom a God who works in such a mechanistic way, like a cosmic Pez dispenser. Max, you might be a little too young to know what a Pez dispenser is. Oh, you know what they are? They're still around? Okay, good. And I think it is perhaps best to simply reject the idea that God has any connection to whatever reward or punishment, whatever good or bad we experience in our lives. And yet, it is still possible that our behavior can affect our destiny. And it makes sense that prayer can make a difference in our lives. Our actions do have consequences. And even if God does not reward or punish us in a direct way, we can and often do reward and punish ourselves. When we act with compassion and virtue, when we pay it forward, we can reap riches down the road and immense sense of personal satisfaction. Likewise, when we act toward others poorly or in an injurious way, we often harm ourselves in the process. We damage our reputations, our standing in the community, the willingness of others to be in a relationship with us, whether personal or professional. And prayer is not only about asking for things. It is also about expressing gratitude, showing praise, conveying a sense of awe and reverence. Prayer can connect us with God, but it can also put us in touch with important aspects of ourselves, our characters, and even our souls. In these ways, we can reinterpret the ideas of reward and punishment, of blessings and curses, so that they no longer seem primitive or irrelevant. We can take ancient concepts and reimagine them in new ways that we find meaningful and applicable to our lives. And when we do that, we breathe new life into Judaism, and we keep it alive for the next generation to come. Ken Yehi Ratzon, may it be God's will. So before we turn to the Aleinu and our concluding prayers, I want to invite Bonnie back up to the Bima, along with Scott, because they both are celebrating birthdays this month. And as I said earlier, there's a delicious oneg waiting for us when services are over. But I'd like to offer them a couple of words and a brief blessing on this. It's not a milestone. I asked you if these were significant birthdays, but any birthday is significant, another trip around the sun. So why don't you come a little closer?
More of a millstone.
What's that?
More of a millstone.
Millstone rather than milestone. That's a good way of putting it. I like that. Can I steal that?
Sure.
Okay, good. Well, Bonnie and Scott, you have only been members of CBS for a relatively short amount of time. How long has it been now? About 2 years. But in those 2 short years, you have already made a great impact in this community. I see you virtually every Friday night for Shabbat services. You're connected with all sorts of members socially, in addition to coming to the synagogue. And Scott, you have made the bold step not only to join the board, but to become our treasurer. So you've done quite a bit in 2 short years, and I'm so happy and honored that you become such an active part of our congregation. And I want to offer you a very old and ancient prayer in Judaism that I think is relevant to the two of you, and that I hope you find meaningful. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. May God bless you and keep you. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'yichuneka. May God's countenance shine upon you and be gracious to you. Yisad Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. May God's presence be with you and grant you peace. And let us all say, Amen.
Thank you very much.
Happy birthday.
It's our pleasure to be here.
Okay. Happy birthday. Grab your seats. And everyone afterwards, during the oneg, make sure you wish them a happy birthday. We are going to turn to the Aleinu on page 586. So if you would please rise.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא ששנו כגויי הרצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל
Please be seated. Well, we all know Israel has been in the news again this week. Some of us have family in Israel, some of us have friends, some of us have professional colleagues, and whatever your views are in terms of Israel's policies or its tactics, this is a time when the special relationship between Jews in the diaspora and Jews in Israel is more important than ever. So in keeping with the prayer that I've been reading for the last few months, I'd like us to turn to page 552 to read a prayer for the state of Israel and the people of Israel. And I'd like to have you please read it with me in the middle of the page. O Heavenly One, Protector and Redeemer of Israel, bless the state of Israel, which marks the dawning of hope for all who seek peace. Shield it beneath the wings of your love. Spread over it the canopy of your peace. Send your light and truth to all who lead and advise, guiding them with your good counsel. Establish peace in the land and fullness of joy for all who dwell there. Amen. It is my honor and privilege now to invite up board member Allison Frost, oh, there you are, to share some important announcements with us all tonight.
The safety and security meeting held by the Napa Police Department will be this Sunday, September 22nd, from 4 to 6 p.m. Topics will include situational awareness and active shooter training. Snacks and break will be provided, so hope to see you there. Please join us for the Slichot services and a meditation program on Saturday, September 28th at 6:30 p.m. Please sign up to bring a dessert to the potluck. Members of the ritual committee will be meeting before services to begin high holiday preparations, and help would be greatly appreciated. September 29th, from 2 to 4, there will be a Napa Day Against Hate at Westwood Park, so we hope that a lot of you will be there and join us in that walk. The high holidays are coming. Tickets are included in membership, but you must register in order to attend, so please go online. It's now open, and contact the office if you have any questions. If you would like to participate in the services during Rosh Hashanah or Yom Kippur, please get in contact with Linda Miller. Religious school registration is open. Please see the synagogue website to enroll. And please support CBS by joining one of our committees. You've seen that recently in the newsletters. We want to invite as many people as we can to the different committees and activities that we're providing and want to have your voice a part of. So please join us. And please contact Mara, who's our administrator, or our president, Eve Kahn, for information about any of those committees. CBS's new monthly newsletter started on September 1st. The most recent newsletter is available if you click the link on the CBS homepage. So we hope you're enjoying this new look and information. And last but not least, we'd like to give a warm wishes to this week's birthdays and anniversaries, of course, who we just had up here. Now I can't think of your names. I just blanked. Oh my gosh, Scott, yeah. Ralph Gerber also has a birthday. James Lopez, Amy Hall, Stephen Veet, Martin Suarez, Bryson Underwood, Rebecca Amar. And happy anniversary to Wolfgang and Donna Schechter, 67 years old. 67 years, not that they're 67 years old, 67 years married. So congratulations to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Allison. And just to reiterate, the high holidays really kick off next Saturday night. The Saturday before Rosh Hashanah is called Slichot, so we hope you'll come to that music, poetry, and meditation session. but really try to make it Sunday if you can, whether you've registered or not. We've done this training with Napa PD in the past, but we all need a refresher. These two officers are helping us out on their weekend. It's not a normal part of their job, and whether you've registered or not, please come. It's from 4 to 6 right here, and the sole purpose is to learn how to make ourselves better and safer as a community. So if you can make it, great, and there will be snacks in the middle, because we all like snacks, right? Okay, we're going to shift gears now. As we near the end of our service, we remember those who are no longer with us, those who have died both recently and in seasons past, our own loved ones, those whom our friends and neighbors have lost, the martyrs of our people whose graves are unmarked, and those of every race and nation whose lives have been a blessing to humanity. As we remember them, we meditate on the meaning of love and loss, of life and death. We remember those who have died during the past 12 months. Eddie Feld, Frankie Block, Joyce Bisberg, Jake Goldstein, David Mendelson, Nancy Jeanette, Alexander Buddy Cohen, Berna Joseph Sherman, Rabbi Lori Phillips, Pearl Shine, Jerry Mautner, Lauren Bisberg, Terry Swartz, Chava Pearl Bat Herschel Veroz Giddel, Victor Lynn, Rosella Bernstein, Morris Feynman, Frank Lickman, Dee Copeland, Dr. Rodney Block, Eileen Gotkin, Eugene DePasqua, Barbara Balick, Debbie Mendelson, and Peter LeBand. We also remember and honor the yahrzeits, the anniversaries of the deaths of Benjamin Becker, Bert Burson, Carol Ranganum, Morton Kaplan, Grace Catlin, Harry Dink, Ralph W. Kelting, Seymour Matz, Mabel Schweitzer, Morris Altman, Beatrice Samrick, Max Weinstein, Max Rubin, Eddie Feld, Norman Somich, and Gregory Allen. And if anyone has a name they'd like to add to our list, I invite you to please do so. The mourner's Kaddish is on page 598. Please rise. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shmei Rabbah, be'alma divrach hirtei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon uvyomechon, ufchayei dechol Beit Yisrael, b'agala v'zman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevorach le'alam u'lamei almaya, Yitbarach v'yishtabak v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei dekudsha b'richu, le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, damiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shmaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'imromav, hu yaseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May the source of peace send peace to all those in mourning and comfort to all those who are bereaved, and let us all say amen. Please be seated. Before our Kiddush and Motzi and the oneg that's waiting for us, we turn now to our final song, and we turn to Gordon.
We do. 657 page at the bottom. Yavo shalom aleinu, Od yavo shalom aleinu, Od yavo shalom aleinu, ve'al kulam. Od yavo shalom aleinu, Od yavo shalom aleinu, Od yavo shalom aleinu, ve'al kulam.
For those of you who may not have looked on the page, those words in Hebrew mean, may peace come to us and all the world. What a beautiful sentiment to end our service with. And let's all rise for the Kiddush Motzi.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Amen. L'chaim, right? We say that. Okay, yeah, I forgot it mixed up. I forgot. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam lechem min haaretz. Amen.